Hello, everyone. Alrighty, so today we're going to go over in Fusion 360 a few more commands. Um, One, we're going to go over the revolve command, which is this command here, and we're going to go over the sweep command, and we'll go over the loft. We'll also do a mirror on a 3D object, and we will do a pattern on the 3D object. We won't do rectangular, but we will do circular. And of course, we will do a few of these commands in one drawing. All right. So first up will be the revolve command. Now, a lot of my students miss this. So I'm going to try to present it in a manner where you would fully understand it. All right. When you think about a revolve, you think about an object that's a three-dimensional object that you can develop a section of that object, typically not even a half, but it'd be a fourth of the object. Like this is a fourth, this drawing is a fourth of this full disc looking object. And you draw a fourth of it because why? You're going to revolve it. You're going to revolve a section of this about a vertical axis, or you revolve a different section about a horizontal axis. But this particular drawing is a vertical axis that you're going to revolve around. All right. Now, what you have to do is envision the shape. That shape wasn't there. Say this object. If you have this particular object, and you're like, well, there's a globe there, so I should use the globe command. No, you shouldn't. It's a revolve, right? Even this thing here, right? You look at it and you say, well, what part do I draw? Well, it sort of gives it away to you because if you look at this particular piece here, that's the shape of it, right? Meaning that's the shape that you draw. Now it'll be at some distance from the axis, which is how you create this hole here. Even this shape, right? If you look at it, it's a shell, right? So it has a certain wall thickness, and so they drew half of it. In this case, you draw half, and in this case, I can't pretty can't quantify how much of it they drew, but if you look at this cutout, you pretty much see that shape, and that's the shape you want to revolve around the axis in order to get the full shape. Um, but maybe you can't envision it just yet, but we'll work on a few of these. Let's see, let's find a few. Fully grasp. I'm trying to show you. That's not a revolve. Looks like a weird shape. Let's look at this. This looks pretty easy. All right, you have your pen, um, and you see this, right? And immediately you see it and you're like, oh, well, I should draw this full thing. Well, no, you shouldn't, because if you draw the full thing, what are you going to do? Revolve the full thing around, right? So if you see this, all you see are circular shapes. There's circles, circle here. Even this has a certain circular pattern, even though it gets thin and it becomes a cone. But it all has a revolution, right? And so looking at it, right, look at it, like this is the drawing, right? The drawing purposes of this is just to show you all of the dimensions. But how you want to envision it is, if I want to use the revolve command, then I need to cut it in half. I need to envision only half of it, right? And then I'll revolve it around that center line. So let's draw that. Let's draw that. All right, so we'll go create sketch. And because it's a revolve, you see, you want to usually start either with the front or the top plane. In this case, we're going to start with the front plane. And whenever you're doing a revolve, if you're doing any drawing, you always want to start with center line or construction line. In this case, we're going to be drawing. So, see, and then now I want to draw somewhat of that shape, right? I want to draw somewhat of this shape. I don't need half of it, right? Because I'm going to do a revolve again. And let's see how this is dimension driven. I can just draw the shape. Figure out the dimensions later. Yeah. Now we can just do some constraints right away. No, I want that. Find be vocal, right? I'm also want my axes, and that I'm going to be coincident. It move because I have some kind of constraint. Restraint. And let's see what it would be. I can't see. I don't particularly see it is right away. Maybe good. Yep. Looks like it could be corporate. Again. That makes this line coincident with my, and that's okay. And then we can start dimensioning it. And so from here, if I dimension from my axes to there, it's going to give me a diameter because it's a diameter, right? And it's 24. That is really crazy. So if that's 24, that means my units are millimeters. So I need to change this because I made that 24 inches. It's going to be really crazy. So millimeters. Like that, it changed millimeters, and that looks a whole lot better, right? Yeah, I agree. All right, then we have the next diameter, which if you look at the outside diameter, which is this one. That's the largest diameter. So I can pick my axes again, and I'll click that line, and then I'll scroll out. And it's showing to be 35. It needs to be 92. 92. And then we have this diameter. This one. That one is 40. Oh, there. Right. So it didn't like that dimension because there's some kind of restraint here. And that's okay. So you just undo it. All right. You click undo and you just move right along. We're missing a particular shape, which is fine. You come here, come see this guy, come off of there, up. And trim. And 635. here to here. Good to go. Close lid. So let's do this one first. So that will move. Yeah. So then that will become 20. Become 2. This guy. All right. This guy is becoming a problem. But we know the diameter, I mean, the angle is 30. So mention it. The angle from there to there. So undo it. And please just undo, guys. Don't think as I'm doing this, I could just be perfect. So if you're following me, you see that, just undo it. We can actually trim that line, right? And then just redraw it. All right, and then just make a dimension. You can actually dimension it from your center line, but my center line is over there at the moment. So from there to there, it should be 30. That should be, oh, I didn't draw that working. And then that should be 30. All right. And then now 241, 20, 35. And then these two lines should be colon. Supposed to be colon. So I'm going to dimension this. Coverage. This, that should be 92. Oh, do we already have it? I think we do. We already have this touches. Yeah. There it is, right. It's 40. Get 92. So from that, it's 40. I don't know. But you know, the length from here to the very top. $350. What do we see? The dimension from the origin. So 175. And that fully defines it. So we drew half of it. We put this whole section, right? We want it to look like this. So draw half of it. and then you revolve it to get it to that. So you finish your sketch, you come here to revolve, and it's already done. See, my profile was selected and I'll unselect that. So I'll select profile first, which is but which one? You select the axis, which is that. And then you say you want to revolve it 360 degrees, and then you put okay. And there is my handy dandy drawing. All right. Now, I want to do create drawing, and again, you want to start with your center line. Check mark. And I'm going to draw a whole circle. Start at my center, come out, and then that construction. And then one circle. To this. No, that's too big. Let's go. Good. 5's plenty good. All right. Then we'll just go click OK. And then I'll go extrude. Select my profile. Distance. Oh, that's the direction. Go distance. All. And then just cut. And so I'll click OK. So that does a cut all the way through. All right. And then I'm going to go create. I'm going to come down to pattern. Select circular pattern. And now it's going to ask, do I want to do object type body, face, feature? So I can do faces. From here, I can select that face. Or I can do features. And then if I come down to the very bottom, and where I did that extrude cut, which is my last feature, just select that feature. And then I'll come to axis. And if I rotate my cube, I can select center axis. Letting me, which is fine. Come over forward. And you see X. Z. Z marks the spot. If I select Z, notice it gives me 3 right away. So I don't want 3, I want 6. 6 of them. 6 holes all the way around. And I'll click OK. And there we go. Now, notice this. See, I have those 3 holes there. I'll come here, sketch, second sketch. I right click, edit sketch. So, you know what? I want my whole circle to be a bit bigger. So instead of yeah, 75 looks good. Be a little bigger. And finish sketch. Pull it a little bigger, both circle out a little bigger. And there it is. And that's how you do a revolve. And that's how you do a circular pattern. Now, let's do one more before we move on to suite and lock. So new design. Let's do this. I know that's sketch. I know it is. But you remember what I said, you got the globe, look at it, and you're like, well, man, that's just a whole lot going on. But that's okay. We simplify it because if you come here to this section view, what do we talk about? Well, cut it in half. You're like, well, what about this? Well, if you cut this section in half, you could draw this portion, this portion, this portion, this. Or you could cut this section in half and then leave this portion off and then revolve just the globe portion and then go back and draw the flanges. Really up to you. But I'm going to start it. I'm going to do it both ways. First, I'm going to do the first way. I'll cut this in half. I'll draw both all of the flanges. Then which I can't draw this flange, right? Because if I revolve that flange around this axis, then it's going to be looking really, really weird. So I couldn't draw this side, this top flange. I could only draw these flanges here and then revolve them to make them circles. And I would have to go back and draw that top flange on a different plane. All right, so let's draw it. So in this case, create sketch again, front plane, center lines, the first way. Remember, can't draw the this upper flange, can't draw. So I'll just start with that top portion. Matter of fact, just start with some circles. That's the easy way. We have 2 and dimension driven. So I don't have to start out with dimensions. I just draw it. All right. Then I have external. Wait for me. Why I did that. But I have external. To put that in there. Internal. We just work our way around it. Now I'm going to draw those flanges. Remember, you just draw it, right? We're going to dimension it later. Like that there. Now, so you can come here and select dimension. The outer dimension is 40 dimension. Your units, look at this 135. So that lets me know right away that this is in millimeters. So I'll come over here. Like, okay. Then dimension. Outer circle is has a radius of 51, so you just double it. Okay. So you want to inner radius of 41. And then activity top of this guy. So from there to the center, leave it 70. Yep, 70. All right. Then from here to there is E. And you just keep going there to 48. Make that collinear. So we have to worry about anything that. It is 28. All right, you see how that's slanted a bit? It's okay. Just click the horizontal vertical constraint and then click the line and it'll make it horizontal or vertical. In this case, we want it verticals. And then we can dimension that. And then that portion should be 10. Yeah, that portion is 10. Leave that constraint make 10. And we can dimension how far out it needs to go. And it shows that furthest out it goes is 130. So I'll select that face. That's the 130. Now it's gonna get a real weird maybe. So instead of doing that, let's just create some constraints. This portion should be 5. Make this 130. You know, this as well. We'll get it here. It's 50, 48. That's 15. All right, now I know you're looking at it like, wait, it doesn't look like that. No, it's okay. This part, yeah, symmetric, so I can mirror it. And so I can mirror this. Do is come here, select mirror, like that. These lines here, selecting them, left clicking. Mirror line is the axis there. So click OK, and there it is. Right. So probably now we trim away this, this, this. Do we need that? No. split it. So what ends up happening? Yeah, I forgot. Actually, because if I revolve all of that, I'm going to show you what it looks like if I revolve all of this, just so you'll see it. So if I click OK, and I come up here and I say revolve. Revolve, revolve. Look at what it does. See there? What do we do? Click cancel. Here, and this sketch. What we do is come back, draw the circle again. Click all of that. From that. Yeah. Man. And I click OK. Now what you do? Well, you have to create another sketch. But you also have to create a construction plan. So if I come here and I create a construction plan, offset plane, select it, and I want to create it from my center. If I click front, see this plane here, the center axis there. So rotate top, get that top plane. And I want it to be 70 or 80, right? Let's just do 80 because I want to make it this top surface here. And if you go from the center to the top surface, it's 80. So I'll just say, I'll make it that surface, that center surface, make it 80 millimeters from above, make it 80 millimeters above that center surface. See that plane there? And then I'll click OK. And so what I'll do is I'll come and select that plane and I'll create a sketch. So what I'm doing is I'm going to create a sketch from the sketch plane, this new constructed plane I made. Now I'm going to create a sketch from that. I already selected. Now come back over here and look at this. And you're like, but this is in 2-dimensional, this is in 3-dimensional. Well, this 2-dimensional section view is just a cut that's made here. So they cut this section view and they drop that section view down below it to show you how it would look in a 2-dimensional plane. But this is how it actually looks in 3-dimensional, in a 3-dimensional setting. So since I see and know that this is in a 3-dimensional setting, what do? Well, draw it what it looks like in a 3-dimensional setting, right? In a 3-dimensional setting, it's a circle. I mean, well, yeah, it's just the shape, it's a circle with a thickness. So I just draw that circle there. You see this portion below it? Well, that's also a circle. Just this guy, this guy. Then you have this inner one. It's also a circle, which is this hole actually. So you have to see it and then envision it from 3-dimensional to 2-dimensional. And a lot of my students struggle with that. This is a pretty difficult problem. It's going to be your homework problem. It's okay. You're going to figure out how to do it by yourself. and you have the video to do it. And so obviously I'm not going to draw everything, but I'm just going to click circle and I'm going to draw one. Fourth circle. All right. So this circle supposed that whole circle is 60. Biggest, largest circle is 90. Inner circle should be 48. This meaning that inner circle, and then the innermost circle should be 28. That should be 28. And then this little guy here, well, that's 12. All right. And then it's fully defined. So put that over. There we go. It's the rest of it. Click that. Remember, this is what I want it to look like. This top and then this portion. But if I cut it in half, this is what it looks like. I have a through hole, that hole goes all the way through it. All right, and then you have those both holes there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this outer portion, just it goes to there. It only stops at that surface there. All right, so before we go any further, let's just go ahead and create edit this sketch. And this one, let's go ahead and create a pattern. Circle. It's when it's 84. We come over here and click extrude. So if you want, first one you click is this. Distance to click that object. That's where it goes. It goes to that object. And extend, select the face, adjacent face, join. Right. Now disappears. Your sketch disappears. That's fine. If you come over here to sketch 2 and click it again, that unhides it. So look, it's back. See that? And then you can come back up here to extrude and click it. And you're going to go in. Yeah. Remember, direction. Flip that direction. Because we started at 80. We started at 70, then we would go up. But we started at 80, so we have to go down. So this surface, the top surface is already at 80. We have to go in the negative direction. Okay. You have one more. Extrude. Put this. There you go. Distance. Go all. Correction. Half through it, but if you go distance, you go, and it's spin, then it'll go all the way to the spinner. That is more or less what you want. Because if I come down here to display, and then I go visual, and then I go wire. Ah, look at that beauty. Cut through it. That's what you want to do. The only thing you'll need next, holes this side. You can mirror them. So go back to display, visual, shade with edges. No, just shade. It's visual. Shade with visual edges only. Oh, we can come back over here and let's sketch. So what you can do is click this face, go create sketch. Circle. Well, 66. Yeah, 4 of them. So you can get center line. And finish. Extrude the 4 holes. You know, you know, to flip the back of that out. Go here. Select features. That area last feature you just did. Select where you're playing, which is going to be come down here to go origin. Select then Y, X, Z, just we'll select that perpendicular plane or parallel to this face, the plane parallel to that face. Select it, then it mirrors about that plane. And if you click OK, you have holes. Ah, I don't want to do that. So because you see that happen, it did. It was basically mirrored it through it, and you don't want to do that. So you honestly go edit your mirror, and you go instead of feature, go faces. And select that those faces. So see that when you go faces, it works. So then select each of the faces. You're playing and click OK. And then you'll be good to go. So I'm gonna do feature because feature basically mirrored the fold all the way through. And that's pretty much it for that, right? Create your drawing, which is going to create your drawing. Create your drawing from there. And that's that. All right, last but not least is the loft and sweep. Sweep. So sweep is really just need to do a profile. This year be on this paper clip would be your circle and your path. So what are sweeps for? Sweeps are for creating things like a paper clip or a hook. And so in order to do that, you're gonna have to have a path and a profile. Now for a loft, it's a couple ways to do a loft. A loft, you can use a path and a profile, but the path could be multiple planes, or you can have multiple planes, surface planes, and a guiding rail, like such as this one. This here is just two different planes for your loft. You had this circle on one plane, and then you had this interesting shape on a different plane, like two different sketch planes above and below each other, and then you lock them together. But let's just do a easy sweep with a path and a profile. So create sketch, and create top. Select my top plane and just draw. This you do need to know these locations. Through basically this point, I want to know where the location is. So I did it a 2 by 1, 2 by 1, and did this location, but I don't really need to know that location. I just dimension. I'm going to show you how. So when I draw my profile, I want it to be in line with this. So from the so 1 is 4.5 from the origin. I just need to know where it is from the origin. So I'll go finish sketch. This time I don't need to have this sketch fully defined. It's okay. So I drew my path. This is my path. Now I need to draw my profile because this was, look at this. Let me show you something. I drew it on my XY plane. Now my profile needs to be perpendicular to my XY plane. So my XZ plane is not perpendicular, it's perpendicular to it, but if I draw a profile on this plane, yeah, it won't be perpendicular to that point. If I draw on my Z plane, it will be perpendicular. Now this is this plane is centered with the origin where I do the sketch. So then if I go construct, also look, it's aligned with that. Come over here and click that sketch, create sketch. Now, I just need to draw profile, the origin, to draw it. This point, this point. Now, I'll rotate it. This let's make it 22. So, and the other thing to know about a sweep profile and path have to be coincident. The profile point, the center of the profile has to be coincident with the path. It has to be coincident with the path, which is why knowing the distance it is from the origin is very important. Because if it's not coincident, if they're not touching, then it will not create a sweep. All right, so if I go create sweep, it says select profile. That's my profile. It says path. So come down, select that. That's my path. There's my sweep. It's sweeping along the path. Profile is being swept along the path. All right. That's pretty much that. Next one is loft. Now, remember, loft is on different planes. You can do a plane above each other, parallel to each other. You can do plane perpendicular to each other, but you probably need a guiding rail in order for it to actually create that action. To try to make it. Because let's just try it, right? So if I do a front plane, I'm fan of creative sketch. Just draw shape, draw shape. Doesn't need to be dimension. Sketch. Create law. And it works. So it can be perpendicular. And that's really it, right? I didn't need a guiding rail, or I could just lock them together. There's your law, right? Let's do another. You know, lofts can be really fun. So I go And I go front plane. And I create a shape. I can just create any shape. I can create any shape. Click OK. And then create offset point. Select it. Create switch. Straight. Straight. I'm not just at the distance. Click OK. Create sketch. Create line. Can't do that shape because I need a guiding rail to connect to it. And that's okay. But you get the gist. What I'm trying to do here. I'm just locking shapes together on different planes. But in that case, I would have to draw a path to connect that upper shape to the last shape that the second shape that I drew. Just create a guiding rail. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Alrighty. Thank you. That's all.